So hello everyone, in this audio class we will discuss the 20 most important questions and their answers from the chapter International Trade from the book India, People and Economy. These questions will be very much important for your upcoming KVS and NVS Geography PGT interview. So let's get started with the question number 1. What do you understand by international trade? So international trade refers to the exchange of goods and services among countries. So no country is self-sufficient and every country depends on others for certain commodities. For example, India imports crude petroleum and exports engineering goods and software services. Next question, why is international trade called the barometer of economic development? So international trade reflects the level of production, technological advancement and economic prosperity of a country. Growth in export and imports indicates economic progress. Therefore, it is regarded as the barometer of economic development. Next question, why does no country remain self-sufficient? So, natural resources, climate, technology and level of industrial development vary from one country to another. Hence, countries exchange commodities according to their comparative advantages. For example, India imports crude oil from West Asia and exports pharmaceuticals and engineering goods. Next question, what are the major changes in India's foreign trade after liberalization? So since 1991, India's foreign trade has expanded significantly. There has been diversification of commodities, increase of manufactured goods, export and expansion of trade partners. The volume and value of trade have increased continuously. Next question, what changes have taken place in the composition of exports? So traditionally, agricultural products dominated India's exports. With industrialization, manufactured goods, engineering products, chemicals and gems and jewelry occupy a larger share in exports. Next question, why has the share of agricultural products declined in exports? So, due to increasing domestic demand and rapid industrial development, the relative share of agricultural products has declined. However, commodities like marine products, fruits and spices continue to be exported. Next question, which commodity group occupies the largest share in India's export? So manufactured goods account for the largest share of India's exports. Engineering goods, chemicals and gems and jewelry contribute significantly. Next question, what changes have occurred in the composition of imports? So earlier food grains and capital goods dominated imports. After the Green Revolution, fruit grains imports declined and petroleum, machinery and industrial raw materials become major import items. Next question, why does India import petroleum and petroleum products? So rapid industrialization, transport development and growing energy demand have increased the consumption of petroleum. Domestic production is insufficient to meet the demand, therefore India imports crude oil. Next question, what is the significance of balance of trade? So balance of trade is the difference between the value of exports and imports. When export exceed imports, it is favorable, and when imports exceed exports, it is unfavorable. India generally experiences a negative balance of trade. Next question, why does India have a negative balance of trade? So India's import bill, especially petroleum, machinery and gold, is higher than export earnings. Therefore, imports exceed exports. Next question, what factors are responsible for changing trade patterns? So globalization, liberalization, technological advancement, industrialization and diversification of trade partners have changed India's trade pattern. Next question, what which regions are India's major trading partners? So Asia and Oceania, Europe and North America are the major trading regions. Trade with Asian countries and Gulf countries has increased significantly. Next question, why is sea transport important for international trade? So sea transport is economical and suitable for carrying bulky commodities over long distances. About 95% of India's foreign trade by volume is carried through sea routes. Next question, why are ports called gateways of international trade? So ports facilitate the movement of exports and imports and connect the country with the global market. Hence ports are called the gateways of international trade. Next question, why has the importance of western ports increased? So western ports are closer to Europe, Africa and West Asia. They handle petroleum imports and a large volume of trade. Therefore they are more developed and busier. Next question, why was Jawaharlal Nehru Port developed? So Jawaharlal Nehru Port was developed to reduce congestion at Mumbai Port and to handle container traffic efficiently. Next question, why is Vishakhapatnam Port called a landlocked harbour? So Vishakhapatnam Port is protected by natural hills and connected to the sea through a channel. Therefore it is known as a landlocked harbour. Next question, what is the importance of inland waterways in trade? So inland waterways provide economical transport for bulky goods and help connect interior regions with ports. However, their contribution is comparatively less than the sea transport. Next question, next question, and this is the last question for today, how has international trade contributed to India's economy? So international trade promotes industrial growth, employment generation, foreign exchange earnings and integration with the global economy. It accelerates economic development and improves living standards. And there are some bonus question. For example, why are western ports more active than eastern ports? So western ports are closer to Europe, Africa and West Asia. They handle petroleum imports and have better hinterland connectivity. Next question, why was Haldia Port developed? So Haldia Port was developed to reduce pressure on Kolkata Port and facilitate large vessels. Next question, why is Kolkata Port unique? So Kolkata Port is a riverine port situated on the Hooghly River and serves the eastern and northeastern ports of India. Next question, why is Kandla Port important? So Kandla Port was developed after partition to serve the northwestern India and to compensate for the loss of Karachi Port. Which type of commodities are suitable for air transport? So high value perishable and light commodities such as flowers, fruits and electronic goods. Next question, and this is the last question. So why are airports important in international trade? So airport facilitate rapid movement of passengers and high value commodities and strengthen in international connectivity. So thanks for listening. Keep listening for further audio classes. Thank you.